Hello, hello, everybody. How is everybody doing? Oh, why is that backwards? Let's see. Gotta figure out why that's backwards.
I told myself I wasn't going to make a video about this until...
Good morning, everybody. Need to figure out why YouTube is got me backwards. Let's go mirror. Hello, hello, everybody. Let's see, streaming settings. Think I figured that part out. There we go. Hello, good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Am I homeless? Yeah, I'm totally homeless. I need you to help me pay my rent because I am so homeless right now. I don't even know how did you figure that out? Hello, everybody. If this is your first time here in the channel, my name is Dr. Jones. No, I am not homeless. I was totally just kidding. It's an interesting question, if I do say so myself. How are you? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. What we like to talk about here, guys, is helping individuals on their GLP-1 weight loss journey navigating around the meds, right? How do we do this correctly? How do we do this efficiently? Setting you up for long-term success on your journey. That's what it's all about here. And my gosh, there is so much to be said about GLP-1 weight loss. Like breaking the weight loss stall, becoming a hyper responder. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I do coach patients every single day. We have a format where we're coaching patients about successful strategies on their GLP-1 weight loss journey. So we talk about the weight loss stall every single day. We talk about breaking through these plateaus. And, you know, the thing that I think most people don't understand is how to remove the barriers to GLP-1 weight loss. How do you remove the barriers? What are the common causes of weight loss stalls? And I'll tell you guys right now, here are the 4 main reasons why you're not losing weight on your GLP-1 medication. It's inflammation. So we got inflammation, cortisol, thyroid, and insulin resistance. Those are the big pieces. And so I do want to talk to you guys about all of those today. Kevin James. Hello, hello. All right. So the 4 main reasons why you're struggling on your GLP-1 journey: inflammation, insulin, cortisol, and thyroid. Around these issues is so important. There we go. All right, we are live. Let's go. We're adding Facebook to the mix here. How do I maintain weight as I move less? Reason, because I'm preparing for a competitive exam and always stuck. I'll tell you guys right now, exercise is absolutely not a requirement to lose weight. Let me repeat that because I know people sometimes have a hard time understanding that. Exercise is not a requirement for lasting weight loss. You don't have to exercise. Now, you do need to resistance train. You absolutely need to lift weights, which is technically an exercise. So I should probably rephrase that to, you don't need a ton of cardio. You don't need a ton of cardio to be successful. That's probably a better way to frame it. But you do need to resistance train because resistance training is crucial for maintaining muscle mass on your body. Okay? Like, you got to get to the gym 3 days a week, heavy resistance training with the focus on progressive overload. You know the expression lift heavy weights. You don't have to actually go hurt yourself and lift heavy weights, but you do need to put some work in. You need to put some in. Good morning, Francisco. How are you? Good morning, Lynette, and people watching on Facebook. Ghost, like and subscribe. Thank you, my friends. By the way, if you're watching me on TikTok right now, it says that the connection is lost, but I don't understand that because it looks like you're right there. Are you guys able to see me on TikTok right now? Just want to double check. HC, how do you eat on the days you need to eat while you're on GLP-1 medications? So thank you guys for letting me know because it says the connection is lost. Obviously that's wrong. So if you're not on such a large dose, that's really what it comes down to. If you're not on such a large dose of a GLP-1 medication where your appetite is so suppressed, then you're going to be able to eat. Like, avoid the high doses. Low dosing strategy is how you maintain appetite. Good morning, Savannah. Can I ask you about GHK and KPV stack? Yes. What questions do you have, Savannah? Those are very powerful stacks for both anti-aging, collagen synthesis, skin health, all of the above. Kevin James says 4 reasons you're wrong. Kevin James, talk to me, my friend. What are the 4 reasons why I'm wrong? If you're still watching my live, which if you're still watching my live, then you must be pretty interested in what I have to say. Can you exercise at home? If you have an ability to get into some solid resistance training, then yes. If you have an ability to lift heavy weights, progressive overload, hypertrophy style training from home, yes. Ideally, you go to the gym, you have access to the equipment, and that's what you do. But, sometimes you got to do with what you got to do. And if you're in a point in your life where getting to the gym is not an option, then I think progressive overload with the weights is the next best option. Michelle, do you have to cycle GHK like you do Clo and Glow? It's always a good idea to cycle all of your peptides. It is a good idea to cycle all of your peptides and not take them consistently over time because you run into issues. There is a decreased responsiveness that takes place over time. And so it's a good idea to cycle your peptides so that you don't build a tolerance to them. I left the gym because of preparation. By the way, I changed edible oil last year and shifted to cold pressed. You mean vegetable oil? Fantastic. Fantastic. Those are big changes. And so that's awesome. Let me know what else we can do to help you. I'm starting my Sloop 332 today. Fantastic. So Sloop 332 AOD 9604. These are powerful fat mobilizing peptides. These peptides will help you mobilize fat. And as you mobilize fat, if you're doing things like fasting or low carb eating, you're going to take advantage of the benefit of lowering those insulin levels. The main thing to fix your insulin resistance, guys, is fasting and low carb eating. That is without a doubt the most potent strategy. But if your body is so stressed out, so inflamed, cortisol is high, if you have PCOS, if you're in menopause, you're going to likely run into some issues. What is a GLP-1? I don't know about these things. Yes, GLP-1 stands for glucagon-like peptide. This is the Ozempic, the Mounjaro that everybody's talking about right now. These are your weight loss shots. And these weight loss shots are making waves in the metabolic health space because of how powerful they are. Strategic use of them is what I teach you guys. If you just joined us, welcome. My name is Dr. Jones. Gooby, I don't like retatrutide as much as I like tirzepatide. Tirzepatide is the tried and true king. Works much better than retatrutide across the board. Retatrutide works very well, but not for as many people. I've seen too many people get all excited about retatrutide and then they don't get the appetite suppression that they were hoping to get. Unfortunately, that happens. And there's no need to run to retatrutide when you have tirzepatide. So guys, my clinic services all 50 states, just so you know. We service all 50 states, and basically what you get from working with us is you work with me, my coaches, or my medical practitioners. We prescribe all 50 states, and my goal is to get you to not only lose your weight, that's easy, but I want to help you fix your metabolic health so that you're set up for success long term, so that you can decrease your medication dose, and so that you can maintain your weight loss on a microdose. Let me know in the comments, are you wanting to stay on the GLP-1 large doses for the rest of your life? Do you want to wean off, or do you want a microdose to maintain your weight loss? Let me know in the comments, what is your goal right now? And then we can talk about strategies on how to help you get there. Unfortunately, insurance does not cover the coaching. Insurance does not cover those peptides, but if you already have your GLP-1 guys, then great. You just need to come to me for coaching. You just need to come to me for the peptides, and let's rock and roll. So this phone number right here that you guys see on my shirt, this is the best number to reach out to my team. All you got to do is shoot us a text message here with your name and your email and let them know that you want to get set up for a free consultation. Do I agree with splitting your dose? If that helps you, splitting your dose is an optional thing when it comes to tirzepatide, semaglutide. Sometimes it can help with side effects. Sometimes it can help with lower appetite suppression near the end of the week. Although strategically, I like better appetite suppression in the front of the week so I can get a long fast in. We recommend our patients do some therapeutic long fasting under medical supervision. Scooby says people try to rush this stuff. They do. Why am I in a deficit and I'm not losing weight? Because you're not in a deficit. Because if you were in a deficit, you'd be losing weight. Now, you think you're in a deficit, but your metabolism has slowed down. Guys, this is such an important concept. You think you're in a calorie deficit, but you're not. Because if you truthfully were in a calorie deficit, you would be losing weight. Now, I know you're saying, I'm barely eating. I believe you. You're barely eating, but your metabolism has slowed down. So you're not in a deficit. You're trying to eat in a deficit, but you're not in a deficit. Because your insulin levels are so high that your body has got reverse signals. It's got insulin saying, store, we're not going to get rid of the fat. But then you're creating the stimulus for weight loss by being in a calorie deficit. So your body says, all right, well, in order to comply with the fact that you're barely eating, because my insulin levels are so high, I'm just going to slow down the metabolism. Also, guess what happens to your hunger? Your hunger levels skyrocket. But you don't even notice the hunger because you're on GLP-1 medications. So the GLP-1 medications override your hunger. So you're starving yourself, and you don't even feel it. You don't even realize that you're starving yourself. That's how powerful these medications are. So one of the things that I want to talk about is, how do you fix the metabolism? How do you fix the metabolism that has slowed down? So we call this a metabolic reset. A metabolic reset. Hey, let's see. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you like the information. So a metabolic reset is the solution to fixing a slowed metabolism. HC says, I look forward to starting your program in the New Year's. Fantastic. Super excited. Hello, Hector. Welcome. Tesofensine can help, but I like the microdosing of the tirzepatide. That's going to be your best appetite suppressant across the board. I'm using Retta and thymosin alpha 1. How long can I use TA1? What are you using TA1 for? TA1 for is thymosin alpha 1 is for the immune system. That's not going to solve your hypothyroidism, if that's what you were thinking. I wasn't sure because you mentioned that, but those are separate issues. Guys, let me know in the comments, are you in a weight loss stall? Are you currently stalled out? You were losing weight on your GLP-1s and then the weight loss stopped? Let me know in the comments right now, how much weight did you lose before you stalled? And then how much are you currently eating right now? Do you feel like you're barely eating? Let me know if you feel like you are barely eating, because that sucks. We're going to help you fix that. Okay, so why did you stall? What exactly took place that caused your body's metabolism to slow down? All right, this is crucial. You were under eating over an extended period of time. You literally starved yourself and you didn't even know it, because the GLP-1 medications are so damn powerful. It doesn't matter if you get enough protein. You could eat all the protein in the world, but if your total calories are so low that you get into a calorie deficit, or that your body goes into starvation mode, it doesn't matter how much protein you have. If your calories are too low, if that deficit is too large, and you do it day in and day out, your body responds and it says, okay, let's slow things down. Because in a truthful, ancestral situation, if we weren't eating, your body's ability to slow down the metabolism to keep you alive is a really important mechanism, right? Your ancestors were very happy that they evolved a way to do that. Unfortunately, that shit doesn't help us now. That shit works against us. We don't want a metabolism that slows down. Just imagine if every time that you ate less, you just lost weight. If it was that simple. Like, just eat less, move more. People like to say, and people think it's that simple. If it really was that simple, there would be massive amount of weight loss right now, because we have medications that make it easy to eat less. We finally have a medication that makes it easy to eat less. Yet collectively, there's still a lot of people that aren't losing weight. A lot of people that aren't losing weight. And I know this because I talk to these people every single day. The primary person that joins my program is your menopausal woman. We have men too as well. But your perimenopause, menopausal woman, her inflammation is high, her insulin resistance is high. She's been on the medications for a while. She stalled out. He stalled out. Larger dose. And don't know where to go. If you've already exhausted the GLP-1 medications and you still don't have an answer, you're getting the answer right now. You need to you need to fix starvation mode, which we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how to fix it right now, and then we're going to talk about how to prevent it. All right? So do me a favor, keep it locked and loaded here. Smash that like button, share this live out. And if you're curious on how to work with me and how to work with my team, I think TRT is great. If you need testosterone, average dude, phenomenal. 229-441-3562 is the best way to reach out to my team. This is the best way to reach out to my team. All you got to do is shoot them a text message with your name and your email. Okay, so the point that I want to get across, is you now understand what causes a weight loss stall to happen. Starvation mode. How do you know you're in starvation mode? Number one, you stop losing weight. But number two, let me know if you guys have these symptoms. Let me know if you have the following symptoms: tiredness, brain fog. You know, you're all cloudy, you're tired, you feel like you can't think as clearly, you're cold. Like all of a sudden you're cold. Like, why can't you heat your body up anymore? You're constipated. Your body's all achy. You don't feel great. Tiredness, brain fog, constipation, feeling cold, achy body. Do you guys have any combination of those symptoms as well as not losing weight? Because if you do, I just explained to you why. And you finally are talking to somebody who actually understands what you're going through. My solution is not increase your dose. Get ready for this one. It's the complete opposite. Decreasing your dose is part of the solution. We'll talk about the dosing. We'll talk about the dosing next. But if all your doctor can tell you is let's go up in your dose, you tell me what you think is going to happen. You really think increasing your dose is going to solve your problem long term? Because I got news for you. It's likely not going to. It's likely not going to. You can starve yourself some more. Guess what? When your metabolism has slowed down, you can starve yourself some more. All you're doing is kicking the can down the road. And guess what? When that can gets kicked, it gets harder and harder to fix. This metaphorical can in this incomplete analogy. So that's not the way to solve this long term. So how do we fix this? This is the most important thing you're going to learn this morning, so pay attention to this. The way that you fix this is with a reset, a metabolic reset or a reverse diet. And by the way, guys, if you're not following me on YouTube already, I put out 3 videos every single week where I talk about exactly these topics. So you don't feel like you can only catch me on live. Make sure you're following my YouTube page. It is Dr. Jones DC. All you got to do is type in Dr. Jones DC. You will find me on YouTube. I put out 3 videos a week. I just wanted you guys to know to follow me there if you want to learn. Like if you really want to learn these concepts. You know, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, I can't get into the science and how it works as well. So, okay. A reverse diet is how we fix the slowed metabolism. You need step number 1. Hey, Robin, TikTok has not been, TikTok has been very mean to us, if you know what I mean. We have new accounts on TikTok, but follow me on YouTube and text us if you guys want access to all my accounts because they're constantly, they're not playing nice. We'll just leave it at that. So step number 1 in the metabolic reset is figure out how many calories you are averaging. So let's say you start counting your calories and you're like, oh shit, I'm averaging about 1,200 calories a day. Okay, you're averaging 1,200 calories a day. Just so you guys understand, a healthy body, a healthy person at a neutral, right? You're not losing, you're not gaining. You should be eating about 1,800 to 2,000 calories a day. You should be able to eat about, on average, 2,000 calories a day, averaging men and women out, without gaining weight. But many of you are eating half of that, and you're not even losing weight anymore. Listen to that. You are eating half of the amount that you need to be eating, and you're still not losing weight. Ain't that if you know what I mean? Pretty wild, right? This is how powerful the body is at keeping you alive. We talked about that starvation mode. So let's say you're eating about, and Stacy says, I'm lucky to get 800 a day. That's insane, Stacy. Your body needs those calories. Your body needs that nourishment. Calories go beyond just energy. It's vitamins, it's minerals, it's essential micronutrients that your body needs. Okay, so if you do the math and you start counting your calories and you figure out you're averaging about 1,200 a day, then you need to start eating about 1,400. Increase your calorie intake by about 200. Only 200. If you increase faster than that, you will likely start to gain weight. And I know how freaked out you are about gaining weight because you're stuck in a plateau and you finally lost weight for the first time. You want to lose more weight. You're terrified of gaining more weight. And here I am saying eat more. So there's a psychological barrier that you need to break through. You need to trust me. You might need coaching, guidance, and support so we can help you with this. But step number 1, figure out how many calories you've been averaging. Step number 2, increase that intake by about 200 calories. Just one change, 200 calories. Do that for a week. You should be weighing yourself every week. One time a week. Don't weigh yourself more often than that. You're going to drive yourself crazy. Confirmation. You are looking for confirmation. You did not gain weight. You did not gain weight. Your symptoms start to get better. Tiredness, brain fog, constipation, feeling cold. Those symptoms start to get better. Okay? Guys, if you're not locking and loaded to what I'm saying right now, pay the F attention. I'm giving you the blueprint. I'm giving you the blueprint right now. So every single week, you're going to continue to increase your calories by about 200. So you only increase your calories every single week if you get confirmation. Confirmation means you're feeling better. Confirmation means you're not gaining weight. If you start gaining weight during the reset, then stop increasing your calories. There's an issue there. But I can tell you guys right now, we'll talk about fasting next. We'll talk about keto and fasting next. Those are very important. No long fasting during the reset. You need to eat 7 days a week. So you can do intermittent fasting during the reset. Christina, I saw that you called, but I'm just out here trying to save the planet right now. Help all these people who have been told to freaking starve themselves. Somebody was just sharing that the dietitian told them to eat 1,400 calories. Now listen, if you're starting your program and your metabolism is not slowed down, then yes, you can be in a deficit. But I'm telling you, if you eat in a continual calorie deficit every day, you are going to create a plateau. You are going to create some metabolic downregulation. We already know this mechanism exists. It's established in the literature. In the literature, we see what happens when people eat less day in and day out. Their metabolism slows down. So this is why you don't want to eat in a calorie deficit consistently. You don't want to eat in a calorie deficit day in and day out. You want to cycle your calories. This is how you prevent it, by the way. So we just finished talking about how to fix your metabolism, how to break a weight loss stall. I think what we should talk about next, do you guys want me to talk about the medication reset, or do you want me to talk about fasting and keto after the reset? I'll try to talk about both. I only got about 15 more minutes. Maybe I can try to talk about both, but the medication reset is also very, very powerful. Good morning, I took your advice. I started taking creatine. I've been seeing results as you detailed. Fantastic. I'll be signing up for coaching. Creatine is amazing, by the way. I'm glad that you took my advice. Most people who follow the protocol are successful. So, and by the way, guys, if you just joined us here this morning, welcome everybody. My name is Dr. Jones. I have clinics that service across the nation, all 50 states. I have medical practitioners on staff. They prescribe. We prescribe the GLP-1s. We prescribe the powerful peptides. We have AOD. We have Sloop. There's a lot of powerful peptides to enhance your GLP-1 results. By the way, Sloop 332, that's the most powerful fat mobilizer, period. If you guys don't know about Sloop, you need to send us a message right now, 229-441-3562. Sloop is going to help you burn more fat and protect your muscle while you're on GLP-1s. I'm not going to talk about that too much because I want to talk about the medication reset and I want to talk about fasting after the reset. But we do offer all those peptides. And then, of course, I offer coaching programs. I offer one-on-one coaching. I offer small group coaching, large group coaching. If you guys want to learn about the pricing of all of that, 229-441-3562. Unfortunately, insurance companies don't cover that stuff. I wish they did, but insurance companies are assholes. You guys know the deal. They are just assholes. I can't, it is what it is. Okay. So, good morning. Let's talk about the medication reset. So what we talked about earlier was the metabolic reset. Good morning, John. The metabolic reset is how you fix a slowed metabolism. It's how you fix a weight loss stall on or off GLP-1 medications, but it's more common with people on GLP-1s, just so you know. A medication reset is a very powerful tool. This has to be done under medical supervision. You don't want to do this willy-nilly on your own. Who qualifies for a medication reset? In my opinion, and my medical providers agree, anybody who's been on a larger dose, pay attention to this, guys. This is the medication reset that you've been asking me for. Who qualifies for a medication reset? It is anybody who's been on a GLP-1 for a longer period of time. Now, we're not talking about diabetes. If you are using the medication to manage your blood sugar, you don't get the reset yet. You don't even get to do a reset yet because getting off the medication when you're controlling blood sugar would obviously be a really bad thing to do. So you can't do a medication reset if you're using this to control your blood sugar. But if you're not using it to control your blood sugar, the medication reset is a very powerful tool. Because you can be off the medication, your blood sugar is not going to rise. The worst thing that's going to happen if you're not controlling blood sugar when you stop the medication is you're going to start eating more. That's the worst thing that's going to happen. You're not going to eat yourself to death, I promise. I promise you're not going to wake up stuffed up with food in the middle of your sleep. People always think like, I'm going to wake up at the buffet, hometown buffet, and, I don't even know what happened. Like you woke up out of a trance and you ate 1 million calories, It's not exactly what's going to happen. Yes, Tiffany, we have patients that we work with that are PCOS, menopause. Sloop is a pill, Yanni. So the medication reset is a powerful tool for anybody who's been on a larger dose. So what is a larger dose? 7.5 milligrams of tirzepatide and up. Can you imagine if you woke up and you came out of your trance and you were just stuffing your face? Like that would be pretty insane. I don't think anybody, but for the most part, people are not running into that issue. So anything above 7.5 milligrams of tirzepatide, anything above 1.5 milligrams of semaglutide, probably 4 milligrams of retatrutide, and you've been on it for like 6 months or longer. 6 months or longer, larger doses, the medication reset would be a powerful tool. Now, what's the goal? What is the goal of the medication reset? It's many things. Number one, it's an opportunity to establish some resensitization to the medication. What does that mean? Well, every medication, your body has a certain sensitivity to it, right? This dose causes this response. More dose, more response. Why does this person get a better response on a lower dose? Because this person has a better sensitivity to it. So inherently, you all have a certain sensitivity to the medication. The medication's more effective if you are more sensitive to it. The longer that you're on the medication, the more you have a decreased responsiveness to it, especially on the larger doses. It's like you're blasting those receptors. Long-term chronic exposure causes decreased response. Look, this is no different than your body becoming resistant to insulin. You keep blasting your body with insulin, what happens? You develop insulin resistance. What happens if you took a bunch of testosterone? You would develop some resistance to the testosterone. This is very common in human physiology, that we become resistant to anything that we're exposed to chronically over a period of time. And the amount, the greater the amount, the greater the response to desensitize. It's actually a survival thing. Because imagine if your body didn't change responsiveness in response to chronic exposure at large doses. That would be a problem, right? So, because of this, people now need larger doses to get a smaller effect. And so here's how the medication reset works, okay? Again, this is not medical advice. You need to do this under medical supervision. I cannot stress this enough. People on our program are working with me, my coaches, and my medical team. But we slowly work down your dose down to 0 over a 3 to 4 week period. You're slowly titrating the dose down, week by week, systematically decreasing the dose, paying attention to how you feel, assessing on a weekly basis that you're still in control. And then once you get to 0, the goal is to be off the medication, skip 3 injections. And then on the 4th injection is when you start back on the starter dose. That's the goal. It's not going to be easy. For some people, it's easy, but I'm just going to tell you right now, it's not an easy endeavor. Because a lot of you are so dependent upon this medication that it's going to be a challenge. But guess what? If it makes you feel better, you could always end the reset and get back on the medication. So what do you have to lose? If you're afraid of this, what do you have to lose? Because you can always get back on the med. Have a nice day. You know what I mean? But having coached thousands of people through this process, I could promise you, for most of you, you're going to be able to do this. So number 1 goal, resensitize to the medication. What I can tell you in my experience, a lot of people end up needing half or less. A lot of people end up needing half or less of the dose that they needed before. So how much money are you going to save long term? What kind of health benefits are you going to experience by utilizing half or less of the medication that you were using before? And then the other piece of it is the mental piece. The mental piece of realizing that you survived without the medication. Do you know how much mental toughness that you develop by doing this? Do you realize that in the future, if you want to maintain your weight loss for the rest of your life, even on a microdose, you need to become tougher? There's no way around that. I get it, you have obesity. I get it, you have a disease. I get it, you have to try harder than your friend. That's just the card that you were dealt. That's just your situation. But I'm providing you a solution. Right? It is what it is. Some people are born smarter. Some people learn faster. Some people are born athletes. It's just the way it is. Yes, obesity is a chronic disease. So what? You just got to try harder. So that's the point, is that mental toughness, becoming more mentally resilient, is one of the recipes for long-term success. And you start now. In our program, a medication reset starts to lay the foundation for mental toughness that will push you through the future. And you might do this a couple times before you hit the promised land. You might do this a couple times before you achieve long-term stability. And I think it's great. I love the idea of challenging yourself every couple months, maybe once a quarter, 3 times a year, maybe twice a year. Every time you do that, you walk away with some mental toughness. And that is so crucial, especially when you talk about the fact that in the research, mental toughness is basically the only thing that was ever established to be the reason why people have ever been successful long term. By the way, like long-term weight loss is almost non-existent. The very few people that have ever maintained weight loss long term, they've identified in research that the main reason was mental toughness. That's it. They were able to be mentally tougher and execute and have to try way harder than everybody else. Oh, there's your solution, guys. Try harder. Obviously that doesn't work. Try harder. A lot of you guys are trying hard already, but you're not trying hard enough for your particular situation. You can't. And so my solution is fix your body, fix your insulin resistance, fix your inflammation, establish a routine of lifestyle interventions that you can stick with for the rest of your life. Fasting, eating less carbohydrates, resistance training 3 times a week, prioritizing your sleep, managing your stress, lowering your inflammation if you have an inflammatory disease like autoimmune diseases. A lot of you guys are dealing with autoimmunity. If you have diabetes, you need to focus on your diabetes above everything else. You can't even get into the medication reset until you fix your diabetes. I don't have any comment on tadalafil. Tadalafil, yeah. That's your low dose Cialis. I don't have any comment on that. It's great for circulation. We don't prescribe that too often. That word's gonna drive me crazy. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing that right. Tadalafil. Whew. Didn't want to butcher that. What is a microdose? A microdose is anything lower than the starter dose. Anything lower than the starter dose. All right, guys, I got to run to start my day here, but I hope you guys walked away with something very powerful. This is the best way to reach out to my team. If you guys want to learn more, 229-441-3562, guys. We offer the coaching packages. We offer the peptides. We offer support. We prescribe the peptides and the GLP-1s across all 50 states. We have combo packages if you want to do the whole thing with us. And if you're not already following me on YouTube, hey, Joshua, thank you so much. Get to YouTube and type in Dr. Jones DC. Type in Dr. Jones DC in YouTube and you will find my channel. Give it a follow, turn on the bell and notifications because we put out, I put, just so you know, I put the most amount of effort in my YouTube content because I'm getting into the mechanisms. I'm getting into the mindset. I'm getting into the strategies. And you don't have to deal with all these, commercials and advertisements and my spastic, deviations because I'm getting all these questions on live. So if you really want to learn, YouTube is the best. And if you're ready to work with us, just shoot us a message right here. So, all right, guys, have a great day, everybody. And we will see everybody later.